In a shocking display that is polarized opinions, Bob Katter's threat to physically confront a journalist over inquiries regarding his heritage has ignited backlash from prominent political figures across various parties. Critics argue that Katter's flamboyant persona does not excuse his resort to violence after he threatened to punch a reporter following a question linked to his Lebanese ancestry. However, despite the uproar, it seems unlikely that a formal censure motion will be brought against the Queensland MP in the upcoming parliamentary session, particularly in light of the incident which took place outside the legislative chamber. Prime Minister Anthony Albanese was outspoken about Katter's behavior, advising the veteran politician, aged 80, to reflect on his actions. On a Channel 9 program, Albanese stated that Katter should have a look at himself, following the latter's derisive comment calling a reporter racist and his explicit threat. Albanese further emphasized that such actions are unacceptable from anyone, especially from an individual holding a public office. The incident unfolded when reporter Josh Bavis posed a question regarding Katter's heritage during a press conference centered around the MP's intent to participate in an anti-immigration rally that weekend. Katter's explosive reaction included advancing towards Bavis, shaking his fist fiercely, moments after he had mentioned physically retaliating against individuals making similar inquiries. Robbie Katter, who carries on his father's legacy as a state member of the Legislative Council, MLC, voiced staunch support for Bob Katter's outburst, telling ABC's afternoon briefing that he believed his father had no grounds for apology. Robbie defended his father by challenging assumptions that they were in the wrong, criticizing what he called ongoing unwarranted probing into a sensitive subject. "You are presuming that we need to apologize, and that's simply unacceptable, while the persistent questioning continues," he explained. Robbie Katter underscored the personal nature of their heritage, which his father often prefers not to discuss publicly, and indicated that it was no surprise Katter reacted defensively when confronted on the topic. "What are you meant to do when you continuously indicate a topic is off limits, yet someone insists on pushing it? You might start to think it's a deliberate provocation aimed at eliciting a reaction," he noted. "For many, including my father, this is a significant point of personal sensitivity, and it deserves recognition." Despite his popularity among different political factions, Katter's conduct on Thursday has been deemed unacceptable by various members of Parliament. Nationals leader David Littleproud, who represents the nearby seat of Maranoa, stated that Katter's conduct was unbecoming of elected official. "It doesn't matter who you are or how iconic you perceive yourself to be. We hold a privileged position in Parliament, a place for thoughtful debate," insisted Littleproud. While Bob Katter may flaunt his larger-than-life persona, all politicians must understand that when you occupy a public position, especially within the hallowed halls of Parliament, you must uphold your responsibilities. "I personally believe his behavior was inappropriate for someone serving as a federal MP." Littleproud expressed a desire for Katter to issue an apology, although he voiced skepticism regarding Katter's willingness to do so. Liberal Senator Jane Hume also chimed in, insisting on Channel 7 that Katter must take responsibility for his aggressive outburst. "Every individual deserves to feel safe and respected in their workplace, journalists and politicians alike. The notion of threatening violence is completely intolerable and must lead to repercussions," she asserted. Although Katter operates as an independent, there are still procedures in place to address such conduct. "I anticipate that the newly established Independent Parliamentary Standards Commission, IPSC, will examine this situation with the gravity it deserves. This IPSC, established last year to ensure adherence to behavior codes for legislators and associated staff in Commonwealth parliamentary environments." has the authority to investigate behaviors that compromise workplace health and safety. It is worth noting that individuals working in Commonwealth parliamentary settings may refer parliamentarians for IPSC investigation, along with party leaders and presiding officers.